The Bold and the Beautiful is at its best when Forrester Creations has a solid, formidable rival to keep them on their toes. Whether it's a fashion duel or a different type of corporate conflict, it's a key ingredient of the show's success that's currently missing. With Luna and the cartoonish antics that come with her seemingly in the show's rearview mirror, there's an opportunity to create new and engaging conflict that doesn't revolve around murder. For some existing characters on the canvas, the stage is already set for them to make the move from Forrester to Spencer Publications, so what could have been a pipe dream could become a reality in the near future. With these moves will come hurt feelings that stem from a deep sense of betrayal. Given that these individuals are prone to holding grudges, the soap's landscape could be altered forever. Katie, Heather, Tom has spent the vast majority of this year focused on protecting her son. Will Crew Morrow from the fallout of Luna's Lisa Yamada manipulations and assault. She was fully prepared to step up on her son's behalf and help with the baby once Luna gave birth. However, with Luna dead and suffering a miscarriage prior to her demise, Katie was determined to return to work and put the horror in her past. Unfortunately, she was entirely blindsided by Forrester's decision to bring in an outside PR firm to shift the narrative away from Luna's death. The reveal threw Katie for a loop, and although she didn't express it in the moment, the feeling of disrespect was written all over her face. Katie recently reunited with her ex-husband Bill Donde, and considering his disdain for Ridge, Torsten K, and the company, it wouldn't be a stretch to think he'd want Katie to come work for him. Besides the blatant disregard for Katie's feelings by her current employer, jumping ship from Forrester to Spencer makes complete sense. Given her recent reconciliation with Bill, now that they are back together, translating that connection to the office would be a seamless transition. Arguably, nobody on the canvas was put through the ringer by Luna as much as Will was. She sexually assaulted him, trapped him in an unwanted pregnancy, and showed up at his home after escaping prison in a laundry cart. For months, he was tormented by her while training to maintain a sense of normalcy at Forrester and with his girlfriend, Electra Linnea Grace. However, he's never felt like a natural fit at Forrester, and it has always felt like a matter of time before he joined Dollar Bill at Spencer. Although Will has a far more passive demeanor than his father, that doesn't seem to be a significant problem for his brother, Liam Scott Clifton, who is also employed by the media conglomerate. However, this could be the paradigm shift that is needed to shake up Los Angeles. Will joining his father at Spencer could plant the seeds for an eventual turn to the dark side, which is far more entertaining than anything the character is exhibiting in the present. Although Electra is a Forrester, and being a part of the family company could be considered a birthright, she's really not needed. Ivy Ashley Brewer is just as talented, if not more so, in jewelry, so her presence is somewhat redundant. Also, Electra's attention is entirely focused on her relationship with Will. If he were to make the move to Spencer, why not send Electra with him? Having a Forrester go up against their own family would create intrigue and potentially transform Electra into a more dynamic version of the relatively stagnant character. Despite Spencer's lack of a jewelry line, due to their focus on media, there has to be something for Electra to do. Bill has enough money that if he wanted to create a rival jewelry line and employ his son's girlfriend to wipe out the competition, he could do just that. Electra might be the most far-fetched option. But if she didn't leave to work with Will, perhaps taking a break from the show would also do wonders for the character. She spent most of the year developing the biggest victim complex in Los Angeles, and something has to change. Either leave Forrester for Spencer or just leave entirely Zende. Dylan DeMetz has been overlooked at his family company for far too long. Despite always being involved in design at Forrester, he doesn't get nearly as much recognition as Ridge, Eric, John McCook, or even newcomer Deke Harrison Cohn does. Every time he's thrust into the spotlight in a prominent storyline at Forrester, the spotlight is taken away from home. There's no follow-through, and he's never going to be thrust into the spotlight in the same way as his fellow Forrester family members. Zende could play second fiddle to every other person with the same last name, or he could find a new place to plant his creative roots. Perhaps a rival fashion house could reemerge and poach him from the shadow of his family. If Zende departed for greener pastures, it could fuel jealousy amongst those who remain at Forrester. This could be the perfect opportunity for Zende to define himself outside of the nepotism umbrella. Daphne's Muriel Hilaire's entire storyline exists almost on the outskirts of the Forrester universe. Her fragrance line feels very Owen Note, and it doesn't come across as organic as the show would like it to. Her entire dynamic with Carter Lawrence St. Victor also feels detached from the rest of Forrester, and the new couple interacts more with Deacon Sean Kanan and Sheila Kimberlin Brown. At Il Giardino, than with anyone at the office. Beyond the kiss with Carter that rocked him and Hope Annika Noel in the past, she doesn't really deepen any conflict at Forrester either, and there's no reason for her to remain. Removing Daphne from Forrester would raise the stakes in her relationship with Carter, and it could make Carter question the stability and longevity of the fledgling pairing. She's not a legacy character and has no true ties to anyone on the canvas. So leaving Forrester for either a rival company or to return to Paris wouldn't be a big loss for the company. A clean exit from Daphne could also create room for past characters to return to the family company or introduce a new character that better aligns with the designing aspect of Forrester. At this point, the entire company's identity is built around Ridge and his creative vision for Forrester. He sets the tone for every collection and the direction the lines take. Ridge also serves as the bridge between generations at the family company, acting as the gap between the oldest and the youngest Electra members of Forrester. The decisions he makes, both in business and in romance, shape the entire story arc for months at a time. So, removing him from Forrester would be like taking away the very thing keeping it together. Without Ridge, the Forrester brand would also lose significant name recognition. As customers flock to Ridge Forrester designs, he's more than capable at his job, and there's nobody, Eric included, who is operating at the same level as him in the fashion game. Although Ridge can sometimes let his personal gripes get in the way of good business, ultimately, he is the most talented option to captain the ship. It's difficult to imagine Steffi Jacqueline McInnes would, working anywhere besides Forrester Creations. She has done a phenomenal job as co-CEO, and there's nothing to suggest she should ever relinquish that title. Like Ridge, she has a tendency to let personal drama cloud her judgment at times. But for the most part, she makes decisions that are best for business. It also helps that Steffi isn't romantically entangled with anyone at the company, so she can focus on Forrester's needs and the best ways to achieve them. Without Steffi, the company would feel less guided and less of a powerhouse in the industry. Her mere presence ensures that Forrester remains at the forefront of evolution and doesn't get bogged down by tired ideas from older generations at the company. She is the heart and soul of Forrester in the present. And with her fierce attitude and unwavering confidence, there's nothing they can't accomplish. Eric is Forrester. He is the living embodiment of the foundation that helped carry the company to the measure of success that it's seen over the years. His name defines the company, and the legacy was built on his blood, sweat, tears, and innovative designs. At times, his wisdom and overall guidance have helped prevent Forrester from devolving into chaos over petty grievances. Although his vision is a bit dated, it wouldn't feel like Forrester without him. Removing Eric from Forrester for any reason would sever the show's connection to its origins. He is still the emotional hub of the family. And although that extends more to holidays and wedding ceremonies these days, he's still needed around the office. Eric is the patriarch who softens that entire family. And without them, it might be easier for everyone at Forrester to give in to their most destructive impulses. With Luna's PR nightmare firmly grasping Forrester, Carter is one employee that Forrester cannot afford to lose. As the coup of the fashion house and a longtime attorney, he has the legal experience and expertise to help the company navigate the fallout. While it's good that they brought in a PR crisis team to help with the negative press, Carter's cooperation is essential. He also, for the most part in business, views things through a level-headed moral lens, which is the opposite of the impulsive instinct of the Forrester. Family. Carter has the professional authority and know-how to make strategic decisions rather than react as events unfold. He also creates variety at the company, as not every employee is a nepotism hire. Carter's one of the only on-screen members of Forrester who isn't directly related to someone in a prominent position of power. Carter's ever leaving Forrester would create a corporate vacuum that